Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I'm going to be walking you through my Pocket Moterm planner. So this planner is supposed to be my on-the-go, and it's only supposed to hold things that I would absolutely need out and about. But with what's happening right now and how things are very uncertain, this has become like the perfect size to use for every day. If you're wondering, yes, I still use the Filofax Domino personal size. I still use that. It holds the majority of all my planning material in terms of like my financial section, my tracking section, my food journal, dailies, everything. It holds so much that I just can't just push it off to the side and forget about it, because I've come way too far with that one, and I've become very reliant on some of the information in there, so I just can't push it off to the side. And then also I'm still using the Webster's Pages Personal that I got in the package that I received, but that one is undated. And the best thing about it is if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. It's undated, so I can just remove the stuff that I've already used and just start all over if I choose not to use it. But I'm still using that as well. But for the most part, I've been using this Pocket a lot more. So it's super chunky. As you can see, I swapped out those little bitty baby rings for these monstrous 30 mm rings, and I couldn't love it more. So let's get into it. I'm not going to do a complete flip through because I have a flip through. If you really want to see everything, there's a complete flip through on my Instagram page. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you should definitely go over and follow me there, because sometimes I do like these little quick flip through videos. If that's all you're interested in, I do them there. Sometimes I do like those sped up plan with me's there. So definitely go and check out my Instagram. So I have a weekly section in the beginning of this planner in the front. And as you can see, as I'm just flipping through to April, everything was very busy. There's a lot of stuff happening for each day of the week. But as you start to flip towards the end of April and the middle of April, you can kind of see that things kind of slow down and you guys look blurry. So let me bring you back if I can. The worst thing about filming on your phone is sometimes it just loses it just loses itself and it becomes really blurry. But as you can see, April kind of just dwindled off, and everything in here is, kind of slim to none. Like this week literally has nothing going on. So I don't know if I'll keep my weekly section in here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. But this weekly section is supposed to be like an overview. It's supposed to give me a sense of what is all happening for that week. I think I've said this before, but yeah, that's really what it's supposed to be for me. Now, what I use the most in here is the daily section. And the daily section is the exact same as the dailies in my personal rings, which I've also said in the past. So this is April. I have a little tab flag here because I'm so far in. I hated flipping back to try to get to this, so having a little flag here just helps me get to it a lot quicker. But this is how April is turned out to be. As you can see, if I flip this open, I have been consistent with my affirmations for this month. I did all my affirmations except for today, and I still have a little over a week left. So these are all of my affirmations. This is my tracking down at the bottom. I have been very consistent with tracking. This is tracking for earlier this month and so forth. And so I have been very consistent with everything that I've been doing in here. And I couldn't say that I've, not been happy. I've been very happy in this little pocket. I don't know if my camera is focusing enough, so I'm just trying to focus it every chance that I get. But yeah, I've been very consistent with this. Having a tracker down at the bottom here kind of gives me an overall idea of where I'm spending my time and what I'm focusing more on than so others. And what I can see is I struggled with getting back on track with working out this month. In my mind, when I'm not looking at it on paper, it registers to me that I've been working out this month. But when I look at it on paper, it's registering like you haven't been doing so good. Like you started out good and then you just fell off. So that's something that I need to work on. Also, I had set a goal for myself to do journaling every day this month, and I have failed very, very badly at doing that. I have only journaled, let's see, 4 days out of this whole month, and that's really, really bad. So I definitely need to work on that. If that's going to be a goal of mine, I need to work on, journaling more. And I can't say that every day was perfect. But there are some things in here that I can see that I need to work on more. And so having a tracker just helps me see that. Also, as you can see, this little box I use for to do and don't forget. Obviously, there were some key elements of this month that I just could not forget. And so I put those things here. I don't know if I did that for May. I'm just gonna double check to see if I did, and I probably did. So for May, instead of doing the to do and don't forget, I did top 3 and don't forget. So I do have some things coming up for May that I will need to focus on. In terms of my daily inserts, as you can see with me just flipping through, oh my gosh, what's happening, camera? It just decided that it didn't want to focus all of a sudden. As you can see, just flipping through to today, I've used a lot of stickers for these past couple of days, and this was yesterday. So I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about why this is so key to me in this pocket is because I'm not doing this anymore in my personal. I haven't done this in my personal in a while, but I'm bringing it back, and I'm bringing it back in here because obviously this is the one that I'm using the most lately, and also this is the one that has the most information in terms of task and daily things right now. So I have some things highlighted and written in a different color, which I also had stopped doing because it became a bit much, but I'm kind of bringing that back. So the things that are highlighted are things that needed to absolutely get done because they were time sensitive. So I'm highlighting time sensitive things that actually have a time set for them to be done. These 2 particular days I had to get blood work. This one had to be done within a month, and as you can see, April is kind of almost over, so it was time sensitive that I get that done soon. So I got that done. And then also my mother is in the midst of moving. Thankfully she has somewhere to move to, but at that moment when I did this planning and this highlighting, she was very concerned about that, and so I highlighted the fact that I was house hunting for her. She's in the States and I'm in Germany, obviously, so there's a little bit of a difference there. But I was doing what I could do from my end to help out. And so I highlighted that because it was important to me that we get that done. And then for this day, I had to get blood work also again. So highlighted it. And then this note corresponds to this task. So I was told yesterday that I will need to get blood work every 2 weeks until my HCG level reaches 5%. Because I am set for May to have special chromosome and abnormality testing. So I have to do a number of different things before we can get that done. So I've kind of been keeping track of like the days and the times that I get blood drawn and also writing little notes for that. And I know someone might say, well, I'm telling too much information about that, but I think sharing my whole road to get pregnant or road to having a baby is nothing to be shameful of. And I want to share that experience with you all because if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been trying for a minute now. And so I think that's, something to share, especially if it can help someone else who's probably going through the same thing. Um, Also, the reason why I have this out, and there's a reason for this, but the reason why I have this out is because if there's something that I wrote here, now see, I didn't do this for May. I wrote affirmations here, and then I wrote the events of May on the other side. But for April, it actually has the events on the back. And now that I'm seeing it, I should have done this for May also, but I didn't. It is what it is. But I can flip this out and I can look at the day and see if there's anything prominent that I need to kind of, put down for that day. Since there's nothing prominent, I just went ahead with regular tasks, regular things. Obviously, I haven't checked off anything for today, but that doesn't mean that I will or I won't, so to say. But as you can see, I've been using icon stickers a lot in here. I've been using my stamp tool, and there's a reason why I don't use my stamp tool all the time, and that's honestly because one, stamping seems to be a challenge for me, especially with the tool, getting it just right, because sometimes it just comes out messy and wrong, and I have to cover it up. Like I originally stamped behind the sticker, and you can't tell, but I did. And so I had to cover it up because it didn't stamp right. And then since I've been using a lot of stickers lately and they add so much bulk, I really want to use my stamping tools for the following month because that'll cut down on the amount of stickers that I use on my inserts because they do tend to bulk up really, really quickly. This is the spread that I have for this weekend or this next week, I should say, because this is Sunday and Monday. But this is the spread that I have set up and I'm in love with this spread. I got these little stickers that I can use for like water and dinner. I usually put them down at the bottom here where you see this little box. I usually do that, but these little box stickers just kind of make everything stand out from like everything else on this page, because if you haven't realized, these pages are straightforward. There's your time schedule and then room to put anything extra down at the bottom. But I rarely ever use this section for what it's intended for. So instead, I cover that up with a bunch of different things, stickers and other stuff like that. In the past, as you can see, I would just put dinner and water down there. And this is okay. You know, I'm not opposed to doing planning this way. This is very clean cut, but this just gives me something to look at, honestly, and it's pretty this way. These little stickers are perfect size for this pocket. I have used them in my personal planner, but they just work so much better in here. Also, I use the little, I guess these are like foiled stickers for some sort. I use them to put in these little boxes because my handwriting, although I love my handwriting sometimes I really don't. And so this just makes it look a lot better. These boxes are intended for daily goals, but I use them for a number of things. I use them for affirmation. I use them for a quote. I use them to write to do. And so it just worked out that way. These little boxes here with the sun and the cloud, they were intended for to pay boxes. And since I thought they said today, I put them up there. But however, they are the perfect size to go up there in this little corner where it's next to the calendar. So instead, I just covered up the little to pay word, put my sun and cloud there, and I'm going to use this to put like today's weather right there in that little corner. It's enough space for me to put the weather. I have started to pre-set these up. If you have not known, I pre-decorate. And so I've just kind of been playing around with different layouts. And then this set of monthlies didn't have, or set of week or dailies didn't have a grid like the rest of them. So no biggie. I just cut down a personal size sheet of grid paper and put it in here for me to do that. What you'll notice here is you'll notice a tab here and then also a tab in the back with the letter N on it. What I've done is this is how I'm pre-planning. In the past, I would write the thing that I was doing on that day. I would write it in the actual sheet. And then if it didn't happen, then I would be forced to kind of cross it out or put like an X here of some sort or an arrow. And instead of just crumbling up my page with, junk, I'm just going to use a flag or a sticky note or whatever to kind of tab off things that are happening on that day. So if they happen, I will write them down, and if they don't, they don't, and then I can just throw the sticky note or the tab away and not have to worry about it. But I'm using it for that. And for those who's wondering what Eisman is what we get our groceries through here in Germany. So we don't get all of our groceries from them, but they have a number of different things that you can order from them. If you really want to, you can do your whole grocery shopping through them. You'll have to buy eggs and other things like that at an actual grocery store, but for the bulk of everything that you want, you can get it through them. But yeah, I use a flag for that, and that's what Eisman is. Eisman is just grocery. So they come every 2 weeks, and so they already came for this past week. So this is the next time they come, which is in May. And so I just tab that off. That's my forward planning, so to speak. This in, let me put this back so I can kind of keep up with the days that I'm on. This N right here stands for notes. So this is a removable little flag that I can just remove when I'm done. I can toss, but it's just labeled as N because, as you can see, these little tabs serve no real purpose. They aren't really purposeful except for helping me flip to a section quicker. But this just tells me what the section is. So this is my note section, and I had a ton of notes in here because I was looking for housing for my mom, but I had a ton of notes in here, and when I'm done, if they aren't relative notes that I want to keep, I just rip them straight on out. I don't worry about opening the rings. I just rip them straight on out. And as you can see, my note section isn't super huge, but it's not super small either. That's my note section. So when I rip them out, I toss them. When the section gets low, I'll replace it with new filler paper. But that's it as far as like my planning in here. I had like one section I did like, I don't know, I called myself doing some journaling in here, but I really do all of my journaling in like these daily sheets. There is a sheet on here that I journaled in, and it's this sheet. So I didn't have any task. And so if I don't have any task, what do? I journal that day. And I do this in my personal rings. And that's why I kind of been using my pocket more versus the personal rings, because personal rings has more room for me to journal. But since I didn't have anything, like nothing going on for this day, I just journaled in here and decorated the other one. So I do what I want in my planners, and that's the beauty of it. But yeah, this is my pocket. This is April's, review. Reason why I'm doing April today, so to speak, is because next week is the last week of April, and yeah, we're going to be going into May. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, there's nothing else. I've covered everything that I wanted to show you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. And if you're returning back, welcome back. As always, guys, I will see you in the next video next week. Bye.